Couple things I discovered quick my first year was what sells and what really doesn't sell, and what you make money on and what you really don't make money on. But one of my favorite things, there's a couple, but one of my favorite things I discovered, well, she put them online. By the time she got here, I done sold every watermelon we had. I had like two left, maybe two or three of the worst looking ones. I'm not a professional market gardener or a professional farmer. Last year was actually the first year we actually tried to sell stuff we grew. We actually got big enough to grow enough to sell enough. And a couple things I discovered quick my first year was what sells and what really doesn't sell, and what you make money on and what you really don't make money on. But one of my favorite things, there's a couple, but one of my favorite things I discovered was I planted 2 rows of watermelons, and I probably got 60 watermelons out of it, maybe anywhere from 50 to 60. But the first time I picked about 28 or so, good size, the best watermelons out there. And I called my wife, she was headed here, she was 3 hours away. I said, go on Facebook before you leave and put these watermelons on there, and I want to see if I could sell them. We put them for $7 a piece, which was kind of on the cheap end, but they had to drive all the way out here to get them, you know. So I thought $7 a piece, you know, the standard price, $10 to $12, would be worth it. Well, she put them online. By the time she got here, I done sold every watermelon we had. I had like two left, maybe two or three of the worst looking ones. And so I thought, you know, these watermelons are going to do good. I actually had a woman drive here from Walmart with a Walmart uniform on. And I said, what are you doing here? Y'all got watermelons up there, bigger than mine and cheaper than mine. She said, I done bought 2. Neither one of them was any good. So she bought one of my watermelons. I hope she liked it. If you're out there, I hope you liked it. But anyhow, so this year, I am going on a watermelon planting spree, I guess you would call it. I've got 3 rows, 1, 2, 3 rows. They're 6 foot wide. Last year, I did what it said, put a plant on a hill with 8 foot apart, 8 foot wide rows. Well, that don't work. Let me tell you now. That might be fine and dandy, but the grass is so hard keeping the grass out of all that area. Once them vines run out, you can't get anything in there. You have to kind of go in there and hoe it. So this year, I'm tightening it up. I'm tightening it up really tight. I'm putting a plant every 3 feet. These rows are 6 foot wide. I'm putting a row on one side of watermelons and a row on the other side of watermelons. And then they're going to grow. My plan is for them to grow out there in that grass. And I'm going to keep that grass mowed till I can't mow it no more. And then hopefully it don't just overtake them. That's my plan. That's what I'm shooting for. But anyhow, I'm putting them 3 foot apart. So there's going to be 300 plants. These are 140 foot rows. So it's going to be roughly 300 plants 3 foot apart on these 3 rows. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to let them grow out on the grass. And then once I get about 2 watermelons on a plant, I'm going to clip it. And that's the only water. I want each plant to have 2 watermelons. I figure if I have 300 plants and I can get 2 watermelons, now I'm counting my chickens before they're hatched, but if I can get 2 watermelons per plant and I sell them for $10 a piece, not 7, that would be $6,000. 300, that's 6, that's 600 watermelons. At $10, that's $6,000. I'd be happy with $6,000 if I could get it. If the crows don't show up and poke holes in them, if the groundhog don't show up and chew on them, if the rats don't show up and nibble bad spots in them, they nibble just enough to where you can't sell it to the public. Usually we keep them. We just cut off that spot and eat the rest. First thing I want to do is get my rower on my tractor, my hiller set to where it runs down one side of this row. And then I come back and it heals on the other side of this row. And then that's gonna leave me a little dent in the middle. Then I'm gonna drip tape it I got 3-foot drip tape. I'm gonna drip tape it, cover it. Then I'm gonna come put my plant. I'm gonna turn the water on. I'm gonna put one plant on every wet spot. That way I know I'm right above that drip tape. I've already put some compost in it, and I've got some 13, 13, 13. I'm gonna sprinkle down the little rows before I cover them, so it should be good and fertilized. It should get plenty of water, and in that valley in between them, I've got 4 300-gallon tanks. I can get water out of the creek, and when it gets summertime, I can just come in there and I can just flood the valley down each one of them with water to make sure I'm gonna have plenty of water. Plenty of fertilizer, plenty of water, and hopefully the grass don't take it over, and I should get a good mess of pumpkins. But anyhow, just watch, we'll see, we'll find out. Win or lose, we'll at least learn something. Six minutes. Test run number 1. That's not gonna work. My tire is all the way on my row that I'm gonna have to cut for the next run. And if I move my blades over, one's gonna be running behind the tire, which may be the way I'm gonna try that and see if it'll still dig it up and make me a nice hill. Test number 2. Not 100% perfect, but definitely doable. What I found out after my second row was if I take my intake pipe and I line my eyeball up with it right along the edge of the grass line, it puts me over just enough to cut down the edge of it. So now I've done half my, 2/3 of my, well, not half of my rows. I figured that out, but that's good to go. No, next time I just have to remember it. I probably won't, but I'm gonna keep cutting. It's day 2, and as you can see, we've got let me get over here. We've got all the drip tape lined out, laid out, all the covered up, all the rows done back there in the background. And once I turn the drip tape on, no plants in the ground, once I turn the drip tape on, the great thing about drip tape, you can see behind me where I've had it on, there's a wet spot everywhere there's an emitter at. So all I gotta do is turn it on, put the plant right on top of that wet spot, and it's right on top of an emitter. The water goes right to it. That's my favorite thing about drip tape. If it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't even use it because it gets a little pricey, but it's worth its weight in gold, really. It guarantees you're gonna have water at your plant, which is the main killer of plant, lack of water. But let's get started planting. These are Florida Giant watermelons. I ordered these seeds off the line. I got 18 plants. So my first 18 plants on this inside row will be these Florida Giants. I just want to see how they do compared to the Jubilees. Everything else will be Jubilee. Only got about 300 more to go, so I'll get back with you. Now, it's been a few days since I put them in the ground, but I got 350 watermelon plants in the ground. and 100 cantaloupe. One on there and one on the other side where they'll grow in that green patch. And these green patches should have watermelons in them. Hopefully it's enough watermelons and cantaloupe to smother out that grass once it starts growing good. I'll have to mow it. Matter of fact, I need to mow it now. But the thing is, as I said, this is my second year in kind of the market garden. I wouldn't call myself a market gardener yet. But anyhow, last year was the first year I tried to sell something. Last year, I really wanted to see what would grow and what would sell. More important, what would grow. It don't matter if it's a sale if I can't grow it. But there were certain things, pumpkins, I planted them too early. I gave them all away. I think I sold one, but the rest of them I gave away. Met a lot of nice people, but I gave them all away. So pumpkins, if I do it, I'm not gonna plant them till about June, where they're ready around Halloween. That's the only time people want them, around Halloween, more of a decoration than anything. And the patty squash, loved them, loved them, loved them. The biggest, beautifulest plants you ever seen. Big old things, man. They just get, me and my wife ate 30, 40 of them. They were good, but we just ate that many because we had so many. They grew like crazy. Nobody wanted them. I'd give them away. Every time someone would buy some regular squash, I'd throw a couple in there, tell them to try them, just see if they liked them. But I won't be planting none of them this year because they just took up a whole row and didn't create any profit out of all that work. So they'll be gone. But my two best sellers, which you could tell, it's obvious, purple hull peas and watermelons. Purple hull peas, a lot of work, but people buy them faster than they grow. People were fighting over them. People were mad at us. There was a lot of people I didn't even get any to that I promised them to, and I felt bad, but that's all I had, you know, and I thought I'd have more. So purple hull peas, I have more than doubled the size, and watermelon, I have, I'm gonna say, quadrupled the size. That was my two best sellers. That's what I'm gonna concentrate as far as my money crop. I got a lot of stuff planted over there. Peppers, tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, all the normals are over there. People buy them, but they buy them a couple of peppers, a couple of cucumbers, you know. Here they buy 10 to 30. I've had people come in buy $130 worth of purple hull peas from me at one time, you know. So that's what I'm counting on. That's my plan. I tell you what, being you hung in till this long, guess how many watermelons I'm gonna sell, not grow, but sell. And if you get it right, or even close, I'll give you a free hat. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me.